Good morning and welcome to the Enterprise Support Monthly What's New session. My name is Mark Napoli and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our new live streaming format via Twitch and YouTube. So in today's session, we're going to have three really experienced technical account managers from Enterprise Support, and between them, they've got over 10 years of Amazon experience. Now, the session's really intended to provide you with a bit of a snapshot of the most important releases, the AWS releases and features from the past month, and then insight into how these services can be used. Now, we hope you enjoy this format. Please follow our Twitch channel or our YouTube channel if you're listening on one of those platforms. And now we have some experts that are also on the line, and if you have any questions throughout the session, you can place them in the comment section, and we'll attempt to answer them throughout the session. If we can't get to them through the session, we will note them down and get back to you if you can put some contact details there. So thank you. I'm going to introduce our panel of speakers now. We have Matthew Platts dialing in from Brisbane. Say hi, Matt.
Hey, guys.
Great. We have Carlos Gonzalez, Enterprise Support Lead from Sydney. Hi, Carlos.
Hi, everyone.
And we have Principal Technical Account Manager Rovan Omar from Sydney. Hey, Rovan, how's it going?
Howdy. Always nice to hear my surname when you say it, Mark.
Excellent. All right, well, let's jump in. So we're going to cover security and compliance first, and Rovan, I'll ask you to take this one. So tell us what's been happening in the world of security and compliance.
Awesome. Thanks for that. So there were lots of announcements recently, and I've picked up the main three ones. The first one is about Amazon Detective, and the idea about Amazon Detective is to help security or cyber teams to investigate and identify root cause of suspicious activities and potential security risk. The way Detective does that is by analyzing lots of events from multiple data sources like VPC flu logs, CloudTrail, Amazon Guard Duty, which is one of AWS automated threat detection services, by the way. So after Detective analyzes those events, it then automatically creates an interactive view of those resources, users, and also the interaction between them over time. So recently, we added a feature that expanded the security investigation to support S3 and also DNS finding from Guard Duty. And with that, Amazon Detective now provides a full coverage of all detections from Guard Duty. So we made it really easy and clear for you to investigate unusual activities or suspicious activities on S3 bucket, and also help you answer questions like who creates a bucket, when, and who made it public. The second announcement is about Firewall Manager, and I work with financial sector customers who always ask me how can they centralize deployment of firewall rules across accounts and resources in their AWS organization. Another thing they always ask about as well is how can they consistently enforce these rules. So Firewall Manager is used to exactly do that. It provides a central place to configure and deploy firewall rules across accounts and resources. For example, we can deploy monitor rules for AWS WAF, Shield Advanced, VPC security groups, and also AWS Network Firewall across the entire organization. So basically, the idea behind Firewall Manager is to ensure all firewall rules are consistently enforced, even on new accounts and resources that get created over time. And I guess by now you probably would ask me, all right, so what's new? With the recent announcement, we can now use Firewall Manager to centrally deploy AWS WAF rate-based rules across accounts in AWS organization. And a quick note about WAF rate rules, it allows customer to track request rate for each originating IP address, and then trigger an action on these IPs once it goes beyond or above certain limits. Another really cool thing is a new announcement of AWS Firewall Manager automation for organization. And I deployed that in my labs the other day. It was really easy. I've downloaded the CloudFormation template, deployed it, run it, off you go. So it's really straightforward. And it was really awesome to see a solution that provided pre-configured rules that can be deployed across the entire org to configure either an application level firewall for WAF, maybe audit unused VPC security group, and also you can configure it to use a DNS firewall to block queries for any bad domains. So to sum it up, Firewall Manager automation for organization help our customers create a quick baseline of firewall security rules across layer 3 to layer 7 resources and maintain a consistent security posture within your organization. The third announcement is about Amazon, or actually, AWS organization, and how can we centrally manage alternative accounts. So if you have an organization that consists of maybe 3 or 4 accounts, it's not a problem. You can jump on these accounts and then update the context, easy as. However, once your organization start to go beyond 50 to 100 accounts, updating this context becomes a task. And customers been asking us a lot to automate this and make it easier. And we heard you loud and clear. So now you can centrally manage those alternative accounts for members' account within the organization using a management account or a dedicated administrator account without the need of credentials or to log into each of these linked accounts, making it easier for you to update these contact details using either AWS CLI or SDK to programmatically keep your billing, operation, security contact up to date and receive the notifications that AWS sends you all the time. And with that, I can see Carlos showing up and I'll hand over to him.
Thanks, Robin, and hello, everyone. I'm really excited for the inaugural What's New stream here. So just thanks for your support and thanks for your updates, Robin. I think it's a pretty neat release around organizations. I think we all know all too well that it's always important to keep our alternate contacts up to date for our customers. It's a simple yet effective update, saving some of my own customers a ton of time. Okay, let's dive into some of our governance and general updates. Let's kick off with the news of a brand new region. So I don't know about you folks, but I get really excited to see AWS to continue to create new opportunities for growth and innovation in new areas of the globe. And today I'm excited to share some amazing news for our neighbors in New Zealand that AWS will be launching a new region in Auckland in 2024. So AWS have actually had offices in New Zealand for 8 years now, helping the tech community to leverage AWS for their business. And before today, the closest region had been Sydney. But with Melbourne, India, Indonesia, and now the Auckland region all coming online, AWS has really doubled down on its Asian Pacific investment. And speaking of investment, let's talk about some stats in regards to the new New Zealand region. So according to an economic study, we estimate that our investment into the Auckland region of about 7.5 billion New Zealand dollars will create over 1,000 jobs with an economic impact of over 10.8 billion over the next 15 years. So that's incredible, especially coming out of a pandemic. Now, the new Auckland region will come equipped with 3 availability zones. As usual, each availability zone will be fully independent from each other to reduce risk around an AZ level event. Of course, this region will also bring capability for businesses in New Zealand with data sovereignty concerns in that they can keep their data in country if required. On top of that, the new region will allow our friends in New Zealand to run their workloads in country at lower latency. I know we have a few customers in New Zealand who are chomping at the bit at this announcement and all the benefits that it'll bring. So I'm really excited to see how this new region launch will enable innovation and open up new opportunities for New Zealand businesses of all sizes and industry to thrive. 2024 is not that far away, so stay tuned. The next update is with Amazon CloudWatch Application Insights and System Manager Application Manager combining to offer an integrated application management experience. So AWS Systems Manager Application Manager is a really cool feature that enables customers to discover applications and various dependent resources related to their applications that may be using different AWS services. Now, AWS Systems Manager Application Manager discovers these applications via resource groups, CloudFormation stacks, launch wizards, or even EKS clusters. And once discovered, it provides customers with an aggregated view of these applications in AWS, along with the services they're supported by. With this single pane of glass, customers can view and manage operations, alarms, compliance actions within the context of your apps in a central manner, making it really convenient for developers and application owners to really reduce the complexity of setting up dashboards or accessing different service consoles to service and track specific workload resources. Essentially, System Manager, Application Manager does all the heavy lifting for you in that regard. Now, a service like this can really help minimize the time it takes for customers to identify and really resolve any application-specific concerns that may arise. Now, on the other side, we have CloudWatch Application Insights, which is a service that helps our customers to automate the identification and the setup of key metrics, logs, and alarms across their tech stack. Now, this really helps our customers to continuously detect and correlate anomalies and errors across your application resources. Now, one of my favorite parts of this service is the creation of an automated dashboard specifically for the detected problems within your stack, which essentially will provide focus on the metrics related to detected issues and possibly point you to the root cause, allowing you to take remedial actions to get that stack back into a healthy state as soon as possible. Now, integrated together, these two services provide a combined view for your application health and gives an advanced ability to deep dive into problems. Customers can now, with one click, automatically set up and configure recommended metrics, telemetry, logs, and alarms. If you want to dive deep into your application's issue, you can click through on the problem via the unified dashboard, which would take you directly into CloudWatch Application Insights for further analysis. So it's such a simple setup of these two services to offer a single view to discover and monitor applications. I trust our customers will find that it saves them a ton of time to discover and manage these applications in AWS. This is now available in all commercial regions, so feel free to check it out. The last update in the governance space is with AWS Health Aware. So we really try to drive the bar as high as we can at AWS. So that means high targets on high availability and essentially all the nines of uptime you can want for services. Now, there are instances or rare events that incidents do occur, and customers should be prepared to respond. I always like to call back to Werner Vogel's famous quote that everything fails all the time. And I recently actually used this quote to support a story for an internal presentation recently that I can certainly vouch for, that this is such a true statement. So with that in mind, for customers running critical applications, having access to proactive and real-time alerts are key aspects to improve your overall incident remediation process and maintain operational excellence, speed, and agility, which is critical for our customers when it comes to monitoring health events and maintaining reliability for your applications. So with this in mind, AWS has created AWS Health Aware, which is now out of preview and generally available. Now, Health Aware is an incident management and communication framework to ingest proactive and real-time alerts for AWS Health, such as your personal health dashboard alerts or your service health dashboard alerts, and present them to you in your preferred communication channels. So that means Health Aware provides integration to communication platforms such as Slack, Amazon Chime, Teams, and email for automated and real-time alerts of the AWS incidents where your team is more likely to see them. Health Aware also integrates with Amazon EventBridge, which has the capability to ingest alerts to an event bus, which will allow customers to integrate with more than 35 SaaS partners, partners such as New Relic, Datadog, and PagerDuty, allowing further automation to trigger your incident response runbook or just embed it into your existing incident ecosystem. So Health Aware is an extremely useful tool, which is free of charge, besides the service use that charges that it incurs from things like Lambda, DynamoDB, Secrets Manager, EventBridge, and S3. We also have CloudFormation templates available on GitHub, making it really easy for customers to deploy and test this out. So I know I'll be recommending this to all my customers to take advantage of as soon as possible. And I hope all the viewers on the stream have it in mind to do the same. Again, this is now generally available to everyone globally. Well, Matt, that's all the updates from the governance space. I will hand it over to you to take us through some interesting updates from our compute realm.
Thanks so much, Carlos. Yeah, I'm really excited to share with everyone today some of our recent announcements across our compute services. Before I start, though, I just wanted to say I'm really loving the announcement of the New Zealand region. It's good to see our strong investment in ANZ continues. And with just a friendly reminder to everyone on the call today that Melbourne region is also coming online in the second half of 2022. All right, to kick things off, I just wanted to probably start with one of my personal favorites, which is the general availability of EKS Anywhere. So Elastic Kubernetes Service, or Amazon EKS, for anyone who isn't familiar with our container services, is our managed container service to run and scale Kubernetes applications. So EKS Anywhere extends our EKS service by allowing customers to create and operate Kubernetes clusters on their own customer managed infrastructure. So we found when we spoke to our customers, they wanted a way to simplify the creation and management of Kubernetes while seeking hybrid cloud consistency. So EKS Anywhere offers a strong operational consistency with EKS, so you can standardize your Kubernetes operations based on a unified tool set. So Amazon EKS Anywhere is open source. There are no upfront commitment or fees to use it. Customers that do have enterprise support have the option to purchase additional EKS Anywhere support if they wish. And for anyone looking to get started with it, you can download and install EKS Anywhere today and run it on your own on-premises infrastructure. So when it comes to implementation and adoption patterns, there are many possibilities, but I thought I'd mention two use cases today where we have seen our customers adopting EKS Anywhere. So firstly, our customers are taking advantage of EKS Anywhere to leverage existing on-premise investments. So many of our customers, some I suspect are on the call today, will have a large investment in VMware, and EKS Anywhere allows them to maximize this investment in their on-premise environments. So we have plans to extend EKS Anywhere as well, with support for other deployment targets, such as running directly on bare metal. The other use case that I've seen with EKS Anywhere is in relation to disconnected environments. So some of our customers need to run applications in areas without reliable internet connectivity, and EKS Anywhere allows you to deploy and operate highly available clusters in environments with intermittent internet access, such as air and sea. Moving on, Amazon EC2 now offers a global view in the console to view all resources across all regions. So we love automation. We're all builders. And although we enjoy the creation and management of infrastructure through code, sometimes, and I think most people would agree, sometimes you just like or even prefer just to see everything in front of us while we monitor, diagnose, or review a proposed change. So previously, if you wanted to dive into a specific instance, a security group, or a VPC, you would need to know which region it was in, or you had to manually switch across multiple different regions to look for it. The new top-down global view gives you a single view into all your resources across all AWS regions. So with Global View, it's available directly inside the EC2 or VPC consoles, and it allows application and platform teams with multi-region workloads to quickly monitor the status or take inventory of resources across all regions. For our colleagues in Australia, and especially with the upcoming Melbourne and New Zealand region, we anticipate this feature will be used rather extensively. This capability is available for 5 resources. So that's instances, VPCs, subnets, security groups, and volumes. And please note that some regions, such as Beijing and US GovCloud, are currently excluded. The last feature I wanted to discuss today was AWS Lambda now supports triggering Lambda functions from an SQS queue in a different account. So previously, customers could trigger Lambda functions from SQS queues in the same account only. So this new functionality allows customers to create Lambda functions in multiple AWS accounts without needing to replicate the event source in each account. So this new feature provides more flexibility to large organizations or multi-domain teams with workloads spanning multiple accounts. This new feature allows applications and platform teams to more easily integrate their serverless workloads. So as you would expect, some identity and access management permissions will need to be updated to allow this to work. Firstly, the function's execution role permission will need to be updated. And lastly, the SQS queue will also need to be granted cross-account permissions to Lambda in order to allow the function to process messages from that queue. There is no additional charge to use this feature, and the functionality is already available in all AWS regions where Amazon SQS is supported as an event source for Lambda. So that's it for today for compute. Back to you, Carlos.
Awesome stuff, Matt. Some really interesting releases there that I'm sure our customers are really looking forward to. My personal favorite was EKS Anywhere, but I'm sure they all have a suitability for different customers. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Me again. I'm just going to kick off our peek into what's new into the database space. And first up, we have an update with our database migration service. Which now supports migrating multiple databases in one task using MongoDB as a source. So DMS is a service that we provide at AWS that really makes it easy to migrate relational databases, data warehouses, NoSQL databases, and other types of data stores with minimal downtime, giving the service a key position for many migrations into AWS. Now it supports, homogeneous migrations such as Oracle to Oracle, as well as heterogeneous migrations between different database platforms, such as Oracle to Amazon Aurora or MongoDB to DocumentDB. And it can also move data between SQL, NoSQL, and text-based targets. Now, MongoDB itself is a document-oriented database and is a popular NoSQL database on the market, which can manage a diverse catalog of content in a single data store and is a supported source endpoint for DMS. So if you're planning to migrate your MongoDB estate into AWS, we have just improved our DMS capabilities as we have now added support for migrating multiple MongoDB databases in a single task. So really, what does that mean? Well, to answer that, if you are a customer looking to migrate multi-tenant MongoDB databases, this feature simplifies the process as we no longer require you to create a separate endpoint and task for each database. You can now simply just collapse that all into one task, which will be really efficient for these migrations and a really cool feature to take advantage of. And before I forget, the good news is that this was made available in DMS since early September. So you can go ahead and feel free to check that out today. The second release or update is with Amazon RDS and Aurora MySQL having support for as new data sources for federated query. So just for context, I'll mention Redshift here. So Amazon Redshift is our fully managed petabyte scale data warehouse service. So Redshift is essentially designed for analytic workloads, delivering fast query and I/O performance for virtually any size data set with the capability to connect to standard SQL-based clients and business intelligence tools. So way back in April 2020, we introduced you to Amazon Federated Query, which provides customers with a power tool for federation to Amazon Aurora and RDS Postgres endpoints. So that allows customers to centrally query data across their operational databases, data warehouses such as Redshift, and data lakes to gain faster and deeper insights that are really not possible before this release or otherwise very complex to accomplish. So now at AWS, we really hear our customers and let that be the driving force to how we improve or release services. In this case, we've had quite a number of use cases from customers where they are leveraging Redshift for their business intelligence or advanced analytics, and transactional data happens to be stored in MySQL in parallel. And they would like to be able to also access the benefits to query their data between the two sources in parallel to provide live insights, data discovery, unified analytics, or simply reduce the need to extract, transform, and load as much data as they may be currently doing. Now, Amazon Redshift Federated Query support is generally available for Aurora MySQL and RDS MySQL databases. In addition to existing Amazon Aurora Postgres SQL and RDS Postgres SQL support, which is really exciting. This means that Amazon Redshift now complements query execution to MySQL by leveraging its massively parallel processing capabilities for a speed boost and makes it much easier to ingest data into Amazon Redshift. So it's definitely one to check out. It's also important to note that this feature was in preview over the last year, but now federated query support for Aurora MySQL and RDS MySQL is generally available to all Amazon Redshift customers. All right, so the last update is with Amazon Elasticsearch Service. So this one is super important update, and it might be a little bit of a tongue twister as the last one was for me, so just hang with me. So Amazon Elasticsearch is a fully managed solution for open source search and analytics engine, and it's built for scalability while still offering speed and flexibility for indexing and searching data. Given the flexibility, Elasticsearch has a wide variety of use cases, from storing analytics data and logs to more general purposes, as well as inventory and full text document search. So as they say, it's out with the old and in with the new. So as we've now changed the Amazon Elasticsearch service name to its successor, Amazon OpenSearch. And with that, we've released OpenSearch 1.0, which I'll just refer to as OpenSearch. So with OpenSearch, you'll pretty much get all the benefits you enjoyed with the current Elasticsearch service, which is always a win. In addition to the OpenSearch release, we'll also continue to support legacy Elasticsearch versions up until version 7.1, making this change as smooth as possible for our existing customers. It's also good to note, however, that when you are ready to upgrade your Elasticsearch to OpenSearch 1.0, your approach will be the same as how you would upgrade to a newer Elasticsearch version in the past. We've also gone ahead and changed our configuration APIs to make them generic, and launched a new SDK version maintaining backwards compatibility to help you continue to operate your cluster and make the service renaming as seamless as possible. So OpenSearch 1.0 is now available, or Amazon OpenSearch service is now available in 25 regions globally. Well, Mark, those are some of the big and interesting updates in the database world. And it was really fun to share these updates with everyone on this forum. For now, that's all from the wonderful world of What's New. So I'll hand it over to you to take us home.
Thanks, Carlos. I hope everyone who's been listening enjoyed the format and discussion. I particularly love the fact that you pointed out that everything fails all the time. And we realized about halfway through that we had chat disabled on our YouTube stream. So apologies for that. But you're right, everything does fail all the time. Now, enterprise support, we've been supporting customers for over 10 years now, and we do that in all industries, in public sector and enterprise, ISVs and startups, all types of customers that run production workloads on the AWS platform. For those of you that are already enterprise support customers, if you've seen something here that you want to talk to your TAM about, we encourage you to reach out to them, get any more information that you might need, or any feedback you have about how useful the service is, and also whether there are any features that you'd like to see. 90% or more of our roadmap is still driven by customer requests. So any observations that you make or any feature requests that you have, really do make a difference to what we do with our services in the future. And for those of you that aren't on enterprise support or not familiar with the product, I suggest reading the enterprise support website, and you can place an inquiry through there or talk to an AWS account manager if you have an existing relationship. So thank you for listening. We're going to be back next month. So we're aiming to stream on the second Friday of every month. So the next one will be on the 12th of November, same time, 11 a.m. on a Friday. So we hope you have a wonderful weekend. And from all of us here at Enterprise Support, signing off. Thank you.